we would not commit, you know, anything beyond the grant money that we have available. Okay, so that's where we are on that. Employee vehicle policy, it's on there, but I'm not sure if you had an opportunity to
I did some
advance that.
preliminary review, I'm not really ready to.
Okay.
I have some good information here and read through all of the sample policies that you had. And honestly, I ended up thinking, why does anybody take a vehicle home?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
really
well, that's
what I don't understand.
That might be something that should be discussed.
So I'd like to do another look. I've made some notes in all of these from the other towns, and ours, actually, I like the policy we currently have, except that I honestly wonder why anyone needs to take a vehicle home.
You know, it's funny because we were interviewing today for a building official, and one of the candidates will identify, mentioned the question about the vehicle use. And I was curious because I said, well, as a building, how often do you actually get called in? And this person said actually it was kind of more, it was fairly frequent, and I was surprised because my information here was not all that much. But she said, but I don't take a vehicle. I said, do you take a vehicle home? Is that, no. So I stop at the town hall, park next to the vehicle I'm gonna take the town and go.
And each
she
time
says it cost me an extra minute.
Yeah,
you know?
each time I went through this, I said, but they have to come to town, so park your car.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we can talk about it further, but.
Yeah. I think it's a very legitimate point, and you know, if you get to the point where you're making a recommendation as to some policy that we should propose, I think that's
and I did that
appropriate
as
for
well.
discussion.
I have some notes on the policies that you provided for me, and I'll be ready next meeting.
And then there was also some additional crack work by our administrative assistant who, I don't know, you remembered it or you just dug in?
It kind of resonated with me a little bit, and I started looking into it because sadly.
So at some point during, whose term in office was it?
It was
Prior to Steve.
Gary Gray, Jeff Ives.
Oh, during Jeff Ives' term. But there was a policy that was actually drafted.
Yep.
Although the minutes of the meeting don't seem to indicate that it was adopted.
And it's a pretty good policy. I read it and said, geez, this is fine.
So we may be farther down the line than we know.
If this is ours, I can't tell if this was the original, but there were a couple of notes that I made in here, but very minor, and I thought,
so
what's
maybe
wrong with
that's
the policy we have?
good.
Yeah.
That may be.
Yeah.
It may be that we've made more of this than we need to.
Yeah.
If we've got a policy that works. But did you send the minutes also, or just the policy? Yeah, and the minutes were.
Oh, I don't have the minutes for that.
A lesson in meeting of the day. They all kind of say, "What do you think of policy?" Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, I think it's good. Next issue. Did you adopt it? But the minutes don't reflect that.
There's no adoption, yeah.
So we could go to the tape.
So it's just funny that you say that, because I said, well, what's wrong with this? It's
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
As an example.
I won't be able to attend next meeting, so my concern with that whole, with everything is, those that do take it home should not be for home use, but then they come back on Monday and gas up. So,
Say that again?
those that do take it home
Right.
are using it at home for home use.
It
shouldn't be.
It should be part.
They are.
Gassing
Yeah.
up on
I said they
Monday.
shouldn't be. That should be a home, an only home.
So
The
that
theory
my-
is to allow them to
my
get
point
to
for
an
bringing
emergency
it up
back in town
is
quicker.
To address that, if there is, when we get to
Yeah.
discussions, if there is gonna be some, use.
Yeah, I would say that,
And
I'm not predicting, but I think no personal use should be
They all say that.
a component of
Yeah,
that policy,
yeah.
yeah.
However, that leads me back to, then why do they need it at home? What do you,
And
you're
they're
gonna
not
come here, you gotta come to Windsor Locks to deal with whatever
Yeah.
you're responsible for here in town.
Yeah, well, I've heard, anecdotally, the explanation that, well, in some cases, we couldn't offer the people what we thought they should get in terms of salary.
Yes,
So we made this a little
yeah, a perk.
kicker, a little
That's
perk.
where
Yeah,
they have
and that does
compromises,
happen.
Yeah,
you know,
But
so
I-
there
yeah.
is that.
but that doesn't necessarily justify it, just
That
because that's what was
doesn't,
done.
that's against what the town voted on too, for their raises. Isn't that against what the town votes on at an annual budget meeting?
Well, if it's considered salary, the budget, the selectmen concern.
Well, when the
That may
board,
be a Board of
when the
Finance
board
concern
puts
salaries.
forward a person's salary as part of a vote,
Yeah.
and the town takes action on it, that's what the town voted. they didn't expect their boss to throw in a $5,000 perk and say that we're gonna sneak this in because you didn't get what you wanted.
Well, as I said, I think that's anecdotal discussion, but I'm not rejecting it as that's a possibility. So it all has to be considered, and I appreciate you digging in to move this
And I'll do
forward.
it again, and.
So maybe we won't put it on next time, but we'll put
wait
it.
If you don't mind,
Yeah.
yeah, just
Okay.
I'd like to talk
So
about that.
the first meeting in June,
Yeah.
would that be, yeah,
Yeah.
okay? You already done the appointment?